Well, for all the shit I've been reviewing lately, I do wonder which one will be the worst animated film. It would be quite easy in a way, because I could just point towards one of the animated rip-off films. But I think in some ways, it's kind of a cop-out. On paper they're horrendous, but I also like to consider the history behind the project. For example, a 1 out of 10 film from DreamWorks is so much more egregious than a rip-off movie. This is because DreamWorks make high-budget animated films with so much talent and effort put behind them, and also because I know that they have the ability to create fantastic movies. So in my eyes, when I watch a shitty film like Shark Tale, it's the worst type of movie. It's similar to another video I made on Son of the Mask. Movies like this have no excuse to be bad. If millions upon millions of dollars are thrown at a production, and it monumentally fails on every metric, it feels like the biggest fuck you to the audience ever. The only people who are annoyed at the rip-off movies are the kids whose parents bought it thinking it was the real movie. It happened to me more than once as a kid, and I got a Christian Harry Potter film, and also a Puss in Boots movie, which was to be fair made before the DreamWorks one, but was conveniently released in the same year. Now this brings us to the notoriously bad Food Fight. It isn't a rip-off or anything, has a stacked cast.
I am on a drug, it's called Charlie Sheen.
And is a big budget animated movie. So it has no excuses in my book. Or does it? If any animated film deserves the title of the biggest production issues, it may be Food Fight. The film went through crazy production hell. The idea for the film was conceived in 1997, and the company behind it is Threshold Entertainment. Lawrence Kasanoff, the guy behind this movie, decided to produce and direct the film, despite having zero prior experience in the animation field.
Zero prior experience in the animation field.
Oh, I mean, it's their own fucking fault then, isn't it? Or is it? The plot thickens, guys. While in production in 2002, the film was stolen. Someone actually stole this movie. Well, at least multiple hard drives with unfinished assets. Kasanoff dubbed this as industrial espionage and an incredibly complex crime. This quote-unquote espionage of Food Fight was so serious that the United States Secret Service got involved. Holy shit! It was never found, however, and the film went from being computer animated with Looney Tunes style animation to a style more centered in motion capture. And because of this, Kasanoff stated that he and the animators were speaking two different languages. Right guys, this is promising so far, isn't it? The original trailer from 2002 looks pretty bad visually for the time, but it sure looks a whole lot better than the motion capture look they got in the final product. Well, it's a real shame that the original version was stolen. That story was insane, guys, wasn't it? I can't believe that's even true. It's almost too good to be true, in fact. Well, in a crazy fucked up turn of events, what if I told you guys that this shit goes even deeper? Apparently the movie wasn't stolen, and Kasanoff may be lying. One of the animators working on the project supposedly said, "I actually worked on this movie for a bit. It was one of my first jobs in the industry, and let me tell you, if you think this was a train wreck viewing, you should have seen how terrible it was to work on it." The sad truth is that there were plenty of talented people working there. Many of those people moved on to major studios in both film, TV and games. The bottom line is the director, Larry Kasanoff, is a talentless, classless scumbag that should be banned from Hollywood until the end of time. All the inappropriate innuendos are a direct product of his creative hand. I cannot tell you how many times this moron derailed production with his brainless inputs. It literally cost the studio millions of dollars. They eventually stepped in and removed him from the project. Unfortunately, that was a decade and millions of dollars late. I am so ashamed of this movie that I've completely left working there off my resume. On behalf of the many artists that have had the dubious distinction of working on this dumpster fire, I apologise to all of humanity for our part in this. What the fuck? It is also stated that Kasanoff pocketed $7 million during production, and part of the issue was the fact that almost all the budget went to the actors. Get ready for this, guys. The animation, editing, catering and distribution of the product was only $100 grand. Can I really blame this film much anymore, guys? And the plot with Kasanoff gets even crazier. He burned down his Malibu house using floodlights for motion capture research and made bank on the insurance payouts, and killed the project 3 times during production to get new investors. The only reason why the film was released was because the bank took over Threshold Animation after they failed to meet the deadlines for release, and sold the movie rights to a UK company. And in regards to the stolen hard drives, this is probably what happened to them. The hard drives were in a server room, which is kept behind a giant locked door that very few people have access to. And logs are kept whenever the door is opened and by whom opened it. They were never stolen, they were deleted intentionally. The original movie, written by Josh Wexler, was actually a good children's movie. Then Larry seized control of the creative development of it, and it turned into the perverted shit you see now. Guys, I need to lie down after hearing all this. Seriously, what the fuck am I actually reading? So it really seems like Kasanoff completely fucked this movie entirely, just so he could get more money. When, you know, they could have just made a better product and made some money anyway. CGI animated films were fairly new at the time. I'm sure this thing would have made at least some money. Jesus Christ, man. So eventually Lionsgate picked up this film to distribute it, but the release date just got pushed back and the film was never released. The film was eventually auctioned off in 2011, and the film was completed and had a very limited release in UK cinemas in 2012. What a ride, guys. I can't believe just how much one guy fucked over so many people for food fights. It's just insane. So I'm intrigued now. Just how bad is this movie? Can I just say that that is the best intro I've ever seen? So the basic premise is, what if supermarket brand icons came to life when humans left supermarkets? I mean guys, what is there to say to that? It's a completely original idea. I think the story is so irrelevant to the review, just because how bad everything is in this film. But I'll explain it quickly. What happens is that the brand called X, no not the new Twitter, starts killing off all the supermarket IPs, so it's up to the Charlie Sheen dog to save the day, and there is a Return of the King level battle at the end, hence the name Food Fight. Get it? I mean yeah, this is just an awful song. The songs in this movie in general are just shocking. To be honest, all of them make me want to wash my ears out with soap and listen to Stairway to Heaven on repeat. Also, most of these brands are just from America, so as I'm from the UK, I have no fucking idea what is going on and who these people are. You know, at least Toy Story had universal appeal. I'm just really confused in this movie. Pretty ironic that this movie was released theatrically in the UK. And what can I say about the animation? It's just jaw-droppingly bad. It's revolting. PlayStation 2 graphics look better than this. The animation fails because the motion capture shit has the characters looking away all the time. It's so distracting. The reason why this film is a monumental failure can be grasped at one of the first scenes. The basic delivery and execution of the whole product is just amateur. How YouTube animators can be better than this? So with this interaction, the Charlie Sheen dog beats the rat by stabbing the balloon, but the very split second after, he says this.
No, stop! You wouldn't! I just want to be loved. Is that so wrong?
And you can still hear him as he gets blown away. There is no build-up or setup to the most basic of plot devices, and this happens throughout the whole movie. This movie fails on the most basic elements on a level I've never seen before. And this makes the 1 hour and 30-minute movie feel like a lifetime. A fucking lifetime.
But as long as you got me to help you, did I mention me?
What do you think?
Whoa, what the? You could 4 carrots? What did you do? Rob the food bank?
What is going on with the movements, man? The kids don't blink, and their speech isn't animated. This is just unbelievable.
You want some?
Oh yeah.
It warms my heart the way you love my raisins, tough guy.
This is the best line I've ever heard.
Next cover, down-face boss! He's gonna crash again!
Oh my god, what is going on? It's just like constant what is going on in this movie.
May I help you?
You must be Leonard, the manager. I'm your new Brand X representative.
So from what I can make out, this guy is voiced by Christopher Lloyd of all people. And why did they make him act like this? And why in the holy fuck did they animate him like this?
Oh, mamacita! Yo, sweet cakes! Oh, nice packaging! How about some chocolate frosting?
Get a shelf life.
I'd like to butter your muffin. Check this out!
There is no space between lines. They just spam one after another. It's just evil, man. What an evil film.
Why, of course I can provide you with a backstage pass to the Copa Banana.
There are similar issues with The Wild too. The streets are just ghost towns.
Security around here is down the drain, oh!
I'm sorry, but is this a World War II documentary?
Kung Tofu.
But I, Kung Tofu, am innocent!
Everything's out of control!
This seems racist. I don't know. Food Fight got me feeling sus. Throughout a lot of the movie, it felt like my brain was trying to block out all the shit that it was throwing at me. This whole movie feels like a fever dream. Like, I know I did watch it, but my memories of it feel scattered. The whole film is just horrid scene after horrid scene. There is no point fully going into detail. In some ways, each scene is exactly the same as the next. And I haven't really mentioned it yet, but the amount of shit humour that this movie has is crazy. If I mentioned all the bad jokes and puns, we would literally be here all day.
Do I look like the Dairy Queen to you?
You better go easy on the potato juice before you get chip-faced.
Party's over. Time to banana split out of my club.
What can I say? Chicks dig chocolate.
I fear this will not end happily for me.
Even the delivery is so off. How can they fuck it up that badly? Okay, they did that shot on purpose.
What the fuck?
Whoa, had to cut that one out. Didn't know Food Fight would use words like that. This is a kids channel.
Snap out of it. You're the only one with a nose for the job.
I could go on, but what's the point?
Thanks! Batter up, fool!
What? How does that work? The soda wasn't even open.
This can't be happening. You lied to me.
Lied to you?
He lied. Moon lied to us all.
You lied to us? The end battle in this is utterly perplexing. It is crazy, and goes on and on and on. It never ends, and is so disgustingly offensive. And after many scenes, of course, the Charlie Sheen dog saves the day and he gets his girl. And if you don't think that was bland storytelling, then the message sure is.
You saved us all.
We saved each other because the secret is inside all of us.
All right. See, things really turned out perfect.
Here we have the best line of the movie.
Dex is Jewish? Yeah, kosher.
Who knew?
Yeah, this film on paper is the worst thing I've ever seen. I can't believe the film was even released. I mean, considering the rocky production history, I'm honestly surprised that we can even watch it. The whole thing just made me sick to my stomach, and I couldn't sit still the whole movie. This is because of how boring this shit was. It's torture, man. And the fact that this was made to UK cinemas is unbelievable. This could be the worst ever theatrically released film. Fuck this movie. This is the worst animated film I've seen. And it's worse than the bootleg ones I've seen. My god. The horror. The absolute horror. And on the scale of first class junk, this may have beat Son of the Mask. It's that bad. Screw this movie. I'm rating it a 1 out of 10.
It's junk. First class junk.